In 1861, when Confederate troops routed the Federals and delivered a smashing blow at Bull Run, waves of shock and sorrow spread through the northern states. Spurred on by the rebel victory in the east, the Confederate sympathizers along the northern Missouri border cast a lustful eye on the lush fields of Iowa. After several days of preparation and braggadocio, the Missouri rebels were threatening to have their supper in Keokuk. Iowa, with most of her young men in federal service and far from their home state, faced the invaders ill-equipped and far outnumbered. Colonel Cyrus Bussey, commanding a small group of militia, rallied to the cause and began maneuvering his troops along the border. In a hasty trip to St. Louis, where he met General J.C. Fremont, commander of the Department of Missouri, he requested guns, only to find there were none. Accepting an offer of ammunition, he hurried back to Iowa. Back in Keokuk, the colonel heard of a rifle shipment bound for the 4th Iowa stationed at Council Bluffs. Using some renowned Iowa ingenuity, Colonel Bussey issued an order to himself for the rifles. Advancing on the train after dark, he performed a midnight requisition, and by morning had his troops equipped with new rifles. On the morning of August 4th, 1861, the rebels moved north. Advancing on Athens, Missouri, they were engaged by a small group of home guards under the command of Colonel Moore. The superior numbers in the ranks of the rebels moved quickly against the small home guards, only to be surprised by Colonel Bussey's Iowa militia, who had crossed their land and brought the fight to the rebels' own state. In a hasty move, General Greene turned his rebels on the Iowa forces, and fierce fighting resulted. In the battle, several cannonballs were fired across the river to roll harmlessly into the state of Iowa, the only enemy shots to land on Iowa soil throughout the Civil War. Startled and outfought, the rebels were forced to retreat, failing to land one rebel soldier on Iowa land. In the years after the events of 1861, Cyrus Bussey remained closely tied to Iowa. An Iowa state senator when the war began, he went on to become colonel of the 3rd Iowa Cavalry, leading his men through major campaigns of the war. In 1864, Bussey was promoted to brigadier general, and by war's end had risen to the brevet rank of major general. Today, Bussey's own Civil War reminiscences are preserved in the special collections at Iowa State University, keeping his first-hand account of those years as part of Iowa's historical record.